Welcome back to the City Current Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference and powering the good. And we love talking about events where you can plug in, be well fed, and make a difference. We're joined by Lea Carr. She's with Paragon Bank and also the Rotary Club of Memphis, which is putting on a big event for the Dorothy Day House. And Lea, you also know a lot about the Dorothy Day House because you're a former board member as well. So how are you doing?
I am doing well, and we are super excited to be here with you today to talk about our upcoming event.
Absolutely. So Cafe du Memphis, we'll talk all about that, but let's start with a little bit about the organizations. Let's go ahead and start with Dorothy Day House of Hospitality and Dorothy Day House first. So give us a little background on Dorothy Day House.
Sure. The Dorothy Day House is an organization that's near and dear to my heart. They help homeless, in some cases jobless families, stay together and permanently work on transitioning out of homelessness. Every week, they have to turn away a lot of different families of people that are in need. A lot of times people think, oh, well, there's different places they can go. But if you are a family trying to stay together as a family unit and you're homeless, that's really hard to do. So we have families coming to us through all kinds of different organizations. Some people living out of their cars, some people that might be living under a bridge or someplace uninhabitable. And that's really hard, not only if you're just a homeless person, but also children, because that is very traumatic for them as well.
I think that is one of the special pieces of this is keeping the family together. So the family unit being able to stay together. There is a physical house. And when you look at even now the growth, homes, but talk about the physical structure and the ability to stay together as a family in terms of getting on the right footing with even the support services that are in place with Dorothy Day House.
Yeah, so right now we have 3 houses, and each house can house up to 3 different families. So that's a really big deal for us. When the families come to us, they come with sometimes different needs, and there's not a cookie cutter type of situation. Everyone's got a different situation. So each family is individually assessed to figure out what they need, what they're looking for, maybe some gaps or overlaps that are really in place for them that have prevented them from having stability. So what we do is figure out what do they need, how can we help them, what are their issues, do they need a little bit more education, are they needing to get on any type of assistance, and really evaluate where they're at and what their long-term goals are. The nice thing also with the families that come to Dorothy Day House is they don't time out. So we have some families that come and stay for a few months, and then sometimes they will come and stay longer. We've had some families stay with us for sometimes up to 10 months, up to 12 months, just depending on their situation. So we have a house manager that works with families in each house and assesses where they're at, what's going on with them. Do they have any special needs? Do they have some things that have been ignored? And really work with them to get them to a foundation where they can transition out of the Dorothy Day House and into their own home unit.
How has it changed, even for you personally, just being able to see the face of homelessness? I think one of the things that to me is that you see just one, that it's not what you might think of homeless. Many of these families are, the car breaks down, next thing you know, they lose their job. And so they're one paycheck away, being able to step in and give them this opportunity to stay together as a family, but to get back on the right footing is really powerful. But I think for the community, it changes the perspective, the lens of what does homelessness look like? How are we able to help our neighbors in need?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the most interesting thing. When I started volunteering at the Dorothy Day House, I realized that a homeless person could look just like me. In fact, my first volunteer opportunity, I was bringing a Sunday night meal to the families, and the lady came out to my car to help me bring in the stuff, and I thought she was a volunteer or worked there, and it turned out she was a resident, and she could have been my next door neighbor. I had no idea. It really does change your scope on looking at the fact that a homeless person could be the person checking you out at Walgreens, or could be your waiter at a restaurant. It could be anybody. We don't know what different situations are going on in people's lives. And so it could be anybody. I think 65% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. And that one little incident can really throw them a curveball. And so if you look at the fact that it could be anyone that you're just sitting next to, whether it be at a restaurant or at the movies or whatever, that person could be homeless. You just don't know.
Yeah. And I think that opens up a bigger conversation around empathy and respect and treating each other with respect, because to your point, one situation can completely change, but that's where Dorothy Day House can be, a huge opportunity to get you right back on the right trajectory.
Yeah.
Talk about on your end, on the other side of this, the Rotary Club of Memphis. So give us a little perspective on the Rotary Club of Memphis.
Absolutely. The Rotary Club of Memphis does an amazing job working with different things in the community. So one of our biggest events is Cafe du Memphis, which we'll talk about. We also have a mobile food pantry, which I believe at this point we've done 15 of those, which has been a great thing for us to do during the pandemic, because obviously volunteer opportunities have changed a lot with social distancing. So we do that. We also support Gift of Life and different ways in the community that we can help, either in a local way or even in a global manner. So our Rotarians have a real heart to serve and better our community. We love hands-on projects where we can really kind of get our hands kind of dirty and busy and active and get moving. And Cafe du Memphis is just one of those events.
Give us a little bit of the basic structure for the Rotary Club of Memphis in terms of regular meetings. What does it mean to become a member, a Rotarian? What does that look like?
Yeah, so every week we meet. Right now during the pandemic, we were meeting virtually for a while, and now we're starting to meet in person again every Tuesday around lunchtime. So we are still alternating with Zoom because we've had so many great speakers from around the world be able to present to us virtually. But we love getting together, first of all, to network and fellowship, but also talk about different ways to better the community, whether it's reading to elementary school kids or helping out at the Dorothy Day House, or just finding different ways to talk about impacts in the community that really are maybe being missed right now. So our Rotarians have a real heart to serve. That's one of the reasons why we joined the Rotary Club, is to find different things that we can do to make our community a better place and maybe leave it a little bit better than the way we found it.
For you personally, how has the Rotary Club helped you either change your outlook, grown as a leader? What's something that you've already taken away?
Well, what I also love is when we do meet weekly, we have some great speakers that come. So I feel like I get a lot of inside information about what's going on in Memphis and a lot of the momentum that's moving us forward. And also finding out about just different people. And I've made some wonderful connections with leaders in the community that otherwise I never would have been able to maybe rub elbows with. I found some lifelong friends, and we just support each other in different ways, whether it is on a personal level or professional level or on a community level. So I have found out about all kinds of organizations that I did not even know existed until we had people come and talk to us about that.
Yeah, I think like anything, knowledge is power and the relationships are the key. And so being able to create those friendships leads to all the magic that you're talking about. Let's go ahead and switch over and talk about the upcoming event, Cafe du Memphis. As you mentioned, this is a huge opportunity to plug in and obviously have a higher purpose with what you're doing. It's a drive-through New Orleans experience, but go ahead and give us all the main details.
So this is one of our biggest events in Rotary and also with the Dorothy Day House. So people know maybe Cafe du Monde in New Orleans, where you've got beignets and it's an outside eatery. Well, this is something pretty similar, except we have now made it more our own with the pandemic. So a lot of people know about the Malco Drive-In on Summer Avenue. So this way you can still stay a little socially distanced, but you get to enjoy shrimp and grits and beignets and cafe au lait. We'll also have some music, and we are offering optional tailgating. So in the past, we've had jazz bands and that kind of New Orleans themed Cajun songs, but this time it's going to be a little bit different. And last year we tried it with the drive-through, and Malco was incredibly gracious, and it turned out to be one of our best years. I mean, who knew? So we're going to keep it back at Malco, and that way you can come and drive in and sit down and tailgate, or you can just take home your shrimp and grits and beignets.
And the event date is Saturday, May 21st, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So Saturday, May 21st, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And talk about just how it works in terms of logistics, ahead of time, show up. How does it work?
Well, we encourage everybody to purchase tickets early. You can do that at cafedumemphis.com. So that way, all you have to do is pull in, let them know that you've got your electronic tickets, and then you just pull up and pick up whatever you've ordered. So some people maybe don't do shrimp and grits, and that's totally okay. You can always just have beignets and coffee. But if you want the full package, of course, we tell everyone it's better to purchase in advance. If you want to purchase tickets at the gate, you can totally do that as well. So that option is going to be open for both, but pre-purchase, you just can't go wrong with that.
And then talk about, once again, the higher purpose of this is when you look at raising money, raising awareness, giving back to Dorothy Day House, talk about what this event means to Dorothy Day House.
Yeah, this is a huge event for them. And not only is it just about the money, like you mentioned, it is the awareness. A lot of people may not have heard of Dorothy Day House, but if they come and purchase tickets and come through the drive-thru, they also get some information about what's going on at the Dorothy Day House. What are some of their needs? What are they looking for? And some volunteer opportunities. What we have found really in years past with Cafe du Memphis, whether it was the drive-thru or the in-person event, were that we got a lot of volunteers coming to the Dorothy Day House just to find out more. Maybe they wanted to bring their children for some volunteer opportunities, which is a great thing to get your youngsters involved, help them understand maybe what homelessness looks like and show compassion, and really help them learn about the community and really improving the community around them.
Let's stay on that thread, because I think it's really important when you look at the ways you can serve, the many different ways for Dorothy Day House. And as you mentioned, with the homes, there's the normal upkeep for a home. And so whether it's the lawn maintenance, washing the windows, painting, all of those kind of things, there's tons of needs and easy ways that you can plug in as a volunteer there. Then you mentioned all the wraparound support services and opportunities for those to step in. And maybe you have a gift of, the finances, or being able to kind of help with resumes. I mean, all these different ways that you can plug in as a volunteer to pour into the families there. And then I know that there's all sorts of items like laundry detergent, cleaning, things that you would need at a house, toilet paper. Those are all in-kind ways that families can help too. Share a little bit of, just kind of carry that forward in terms of those volunteer opportunities and ways that you can serve to give back.
Oh, absolutely. What I tell everybody is whatever your household needs, the Dorothy Day House needs as well. So as far as in-kind donations, anything from dishwashing detergent to food, to school supplies, to school clothes for kids, gas cards, any of those things that you think they really run your household will help at the Dorothy Day House. And then as far as volunteer opportunities, really the sky is almost endless. Really before the pandemic, and now those options are starting to open back up. So maybe it's tutoring to some of the kids that live in the house. Maybe it is helping with a resume or interview skills. Maybe it is transportation. And then of course, we do have spring cleaning and fall cleaning opportunities. And something else that's getting ready to start back is going to be Sunday night meals. And that's at each of the 3 houses. Every Sunday night, you have the opportunity to bring a meal to the families, sit down and eat with them, find out a little bit about what's going on in their lives, and provide some support and encouragement maybe for what they're going through.
What's one more thing that you wish everyone knew about Dorothy Day House?
I think the one thing that I would like everyone to know is that there are a lot of families that are getting turned away right now. And I don't think people realize that. When I first started volunteering with the Dorothy Day House and was on the board, we were turning away around 10 to 12 families. Well, now that's more like 25 to 30 families a week. And in some cases, it could be even within a day. I mean, it is a lot of phone calls, a lot of people just in really bad situations. And these people aren't bad people. This is just things that happened outside of their control. Like you said, maybe their car broke down, maybe they had a house fire, maybe they lost their employment or got sick and couldn't continue to work, and things just happen that nobody can plan for, and they don't have maybe the soft place to land, and that's what the Dorothy Day House provides. But I don't think people realize how many families really get turned away every week and how much need there actually is.
Well, and all of this kind of paints the picture of why it's so important to be a part of the event, Cafe du Memphis, Saturday, May 21st, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And obviously support Dorothy Day House with all the efforts there. So wrap up with website. Where can we go to learn more? And as you mentioned, go ahead and do the advanced purchase on everything. You've got the shrimp and grits, the beignets, the coffee. Where do we go to learn more and plug in, both with the event and also Rotary Club of Memphis and even Dorothy Day House? Where would you send us to learn more?
Well, everything's online nowadays and on social media. So you can always purchase your tickets and find out more specifically about Cafe du Memphis at cafedumemphis.com. And then also from there is a link to go straight to the Dorothy Day House and find out more about them. But you can also visit or just Google Dorothy Day House Memphis, because there are multiple Dorothy Day houses throughout the nation. They all do different things, but ours here in Memphis, we have those 3 houses. You can find out directly on the website. You can also sign up for volunteer opportunities directly through their website, as well as a list of needs that they currently have, really from week to week and month to month. And then for Rotary Club of Memphis, we are the oldest and largest club in Memphis for Rotary. So you can find out more about us at rotarymemphis.com. And then, of course, all over social media.
Yeah, make it very, very easy. And like you said, you can just go to Google and type in anything between Dorothy Day House, Memphis, Rotary Club of Memphis, and obviously the event Cafe du Memphis as well, and go straight to the source. But to your point, Dorothy Day House also has a great newsletter that sends out, tons of ways to get involved and help. So lots of easy ways to get engaged, give back, and make a difference. Lea Carr, thank you for all you do, for your amazing team. Definitely best of luck with the upcoming event, Cafe du Memphis. We'll see you out there, and thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.